What's going on, Geekdom? This is Chipmunk. Before we get started, though, I would like to say, yes, with how things have been going on in the world, I know the world has been going too crap lately. Everyone's struggling, everyone's going through things, and life is not making it any better for everyone. So, I state this all the time in my videos. Please do take care of yourselves and others. Um, if you have a chance at some points and sometimes just try to make someone smile, even if it's someone, a stranger or someone you know, make their day feel a little bit better. Add some more positivity to the world at some point for your day. It makes you feel a lot better and it makes them feel a lot better, especially with everything that's happening. But yeah, we are going to be doing a review on the movie Magazine Dreams. I had recently just watched Magazine Dreams this past weekend. Stars Jonathan Majors. Yeah, I wanted to jump into first what happened with the movie. I am going to do some spoilers and I'm going to do a discussion as well in this. As far as just topics and stuff, and hard topics at that, discussing the movie, so you will have some heavy spoilers with some of these topics. Because, yeah, this this movie hit really hard. It hit really hard. So, alright, so the movie is about an amateur bodybuilder trying to win competitions and become really popular, really famous. His name is, I think it was Killian Maddox or something like that. I apologize. I probably butchered his name and everything. But yeah, he's the person that Jonathan Majors is playing. Killian takes care of his Pop, which is his grandfather. His parents died when he was younger, but he has some mental issues going on with him. He does see a specialist or some type of specialist. I'm not for sure exactly what her job role is with Killian, but she does talk to him about certain things that's happening with him. He idolizes a very popular bodybuilder, fitness idol, I guess. Say his name was like Brad. So I can't remember what the last name is, but his name was Brad, and he has like posters, everything all over the wall. He wants to be just like him. He wants to be as popular as him. Wants to be as famous as him. But some of these mental things that he goes through, especially his idolization of Brad, kind of hinders him from connecting with other people. So he has a hard time connecting with people, and he is very shy. But he also has some anger issues, some anger problems and stuff that he deals with. A lot of it is probably due to this the steroid usage. I know steroids can lead to more of an aggression, so that's probably what what causes a lot of his anger. But I think it's other deep rooted issues, especially dealing with what happened with his parents, stuff like that in his past. That might have been also what caused him to be very angry. Other mental, so it's a lot of variables I think that goes with his anger problems and stuff. But also his self-image, how he deals with his self-image, how he sees himself. Isn't a big fan of a lot of different like junk foods and stuff like that. He detests it because it makes you fat, everything. So which is very understandable. Especially being a bodybuilder, you will want to stay away from certain foods and stuff. So the image issues and everything, he has all these different things going on with him, and he tries to navigate through competitions, which he doesn't win a lot. He holds grudges when it comes to the judge that talked about his, I want to say it was his deltoids. His aggression and everything leads him to different situations where he gets in confrontations with people. So that leads into the story of how he gets into certain situations. So that's basically what the movie is about. It's just mostly him trying to conquer his emotions, aggressions, his feelings in his self, when it comes to a lot of his deep-rooted issues. And that's me just trying not to spoil it for those who don't want to spoil this first. But that's just, to me, the basic core of the story is him trying to understand and figure out himself as well. That's just how I see it. But I will touch on the other issues and stuff that's been going on. But that will be a little bit later, and I'll tell you spoilers when I do jump into it. Yeah, it's done pretty well with audiences. I think right now with critics, it's sitting at a 80%. For audiences, it's sitting at a 91%. So, majority, a lot of people do really like this film. I like this film as well. I thought it was a really good film. It's the type of films that I used to love when I was younger. How it's shot, how they tell the story, how it invokes emotions and feelings as a person watching everything unfold. I used to gravitate to those movies, and that's why I loved cinema so much when I was younger, and I wanted to work into cinema when I was younger, is due to movies just like this. Yeah, the score wasn't bad. There was the shots, the cinematography wasn't bad neither. But I really love the core of the story and how it just makes you feel the emotions that the actors and stuff brought to this to get you those feelings, those unnerved feelings, those sad feelings, those scary feelings and stuff. It really does provoke a whole bunch of emotions. And yeah, it's basically what I really just love from dramas. This is one that I was like, should be up there. I really thought this was Jonathan Majors' best role. He played this character so convincingly. Killian isn't an easy character really to portray, and I think he did a spot on great job with it. I thought he really did shine, and was very, very believable. You can tell the method acting with this film for Jonathan Majors. Yeah, I would probably, if I was to put in a percentage with Rotten Tomatoes, I would lean more towards the audience's side and give it like a 91, a 90. Yeah, I really do think it is really, really good as a film. Now, IMDb, they have it at I want to say it was like a 6.9 or something like that, 6.8. I probably would have gave it on their score an 8.2, but you know, that's a general of everyone's picks when it comes to those ratings on IMDb. There's as far as what makes this movie so good, and this will be on the spoilers in other review. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, this would be the perfect time to go ahead and cut out the video, stop the video, go and watch it. It's a really, really good film. I would definitely pay money again to watch it. I don't feel like my money was wasted when I watched it. So yes, I definitely encourage people to watch this film. But yes, spoilers on things that I really did like about this film and scenes and stuff. There is some racial tones into the film. You do get that with, you know, Killian being black, trying to navigate through a town that looks like it's mostly white. But I like the fact that it doesn't harbor onto that a lot. I like that it doesn't, like, it's not his core focus is racism and stuff like that, but you know that it does happen. And it pops up when he does destroy the paint shop. The paint shop owner's nephew or something, I don't remember what his relation was to the owner of the shop, finds Killian, and him and another group of white dudes beat him up before Killian goes on to do a competition. Yeah, they basically call him a monkey, everything, you know. But he still goes to the competition all bloodied, all messed up, all bruised, all hurt. Which is wild. And yeah, the self-image issues and stuff happens when especially he views himself I like a lot of that topic when it comes to body imagery. When it comes to men, I don't think a lot of people even talk about when it comes to body images for men. Majority of body image issues and stuff usually happens with women, but it does also happen with men. Especially when they look at themselves, they're not as big and they want to be bigger. They're not as, like with muscles and stuff like that. They're not as muscular. They want to be muscular. Then their body is not as toned. They want to be toner. They want this and that. As far as just the bodies, it's a lot of men that does have body image issues, and they don't like it when people make fun of or talk about a certain part of their bodies or their bodies is negative. Now, I think most men tend to hold it together, but it's still some that does have those issues that is pour it out, or they pour it out onto others in aggression or other ways when it comes to their personality or takes. The one I will highlight with the body image issues is one where he picks up a lady of the evening. I'm gonna call it that because I don't know what YouTube will end up blocking, depending on what I state. But yeah, a lady of the evening. He picks up. They go to a hotel, I would guess, and they go there to do the do. She knows that he's nervous, and she tries to ease him as much as she can. She's a professional, you know. You can tell she can. That's what I liked about the movie as well. You can tell with the actress, she plays the role really nicely, to where it's like the character knows that, hey, how to maneuver when it comes to certain guys and stuff, certain tricks. I'm gonna just say that, certain tricks and stuff, how to try to make them feel more at ease, make them feel more liked. She tries her best. In a portion, he goes and takes off his clothes. He's shy about it. Goes take off his clothes, and then he starts asking her, "What do you like my body? What do you think about it?" Stuff like that. And that's where one of the major things that you can tell he has self-image issues is he needs validation for how he looks. He needs that validation to continue doing what he does or to do certain things. Without that validation, he tends to break a bit, and it triggers a lot of stuff with him. And you definitely see it in that scene. And that's one of the things I did like when it came to the character and everything. Another one that is more harder to watch, and it also leads into more of the idolization of heroes and people that you like, celebrities and stuff like that, was with Brad. Killian was finally able to meet Brad. He had issues of trying to connect with people and stuff like that, and he really harbored on idolizing Brad to where he called him a lot. He sent him letters and kept sending him letters. One of the times he did have an outburst, he ripped all his pictures off the wall. He had his stand moment.
I hope you know I ripped all of your pictures off the wall.
And after a little while, Brad did end up calling him, and he's so surprised that Brad ended up calling him, he couldn't believe it. But then, Brad told him, "Hey, I'm be in your town. Why don't you come out? I have this shoot and everything. Come to the shoot." So he goes to the shoot, and Brad basically uses him being a number one fan of himself, of him. Brad uses Killian for his own sexual needs, which I don't think a lot of people even talk about or even discuss when it comes to it. Because Killian, in my mind or my thinking, he's not, as far as his character, he's not gay. He doesn't portray himself as gay throughout this whole movie whatsoever. But he does this, he's tricked into it because he idolizes Brad a lot. Brad, on the other hand, he's a whole different story of what I think about him. But it could be, in my thinking, is more of a power dynamic. I think a lot of people use sex as a power tool. And I think Brad uses that. He does have a family. He does have a wife. But I think he does use it as a power tool to make himself feel better, feel good. other people might think it's a whole different other thing. It probably is. It could be multiple things when it comes to people who are like that. But they do use their power and influence to trick people into fulfilling their own needs. And that's what happens with Killian. He ends up doing these acts with Brad, not knowing how he felt, kind of like in shock of himself that he was able to even do what he did. And you get that emotion and you get that tone all into the story of that scene, that he just nervously just leaves because he doesn't know what went on. And then he tries to talk to Brad again, being a fan and stuff. Is like he's still like, this is the person I idolize a lot. So he still tries to call him. He's like, hey, why aren't you calling me? I just want to be friends. And, he's like, you did all this stuff to me. You hear that a lot when it comes to people who are victimized by their idols. And, yeah, that hit so hard for me. I thought that was one of the biggest parts in the movie. Which was crazy, but the tones and the way you feel, he harnesses all this anger and he is about to lash out with his anger, whether it's against the judge. He almost murders the judge. He buys a gun and everything. He almost murders the judge, and then he also goes to murder Brad, but he doesn't do it. He thinks about it. He thinks about what happened. He still wants to be famous. The whole thing is of him, leaving a mark on the world so people know who he is, but he doesn't do it. He doesn't leave his mark that way. He finally figures it out for himself that this is not the way to freaking do it. This aggression and stuff he has is not the exact way. And I like that as far as just the story and stuff. I actually thought he was going to crash out and actually do everything. I still would have thought it would have been a good story, even if he would have done the horrible things he's been seeming like he's going to do. It would definitely be been really interesting and crazy if he would have done it, and I still would have probably liked it. The movie, that is. But I did like the fact that he didn't. Now, there was some things that I didn't like about the movie that I was like, I don't know why they did it that way when they could have changed some stuff. I'm going to just say one major one was the police encounter that he had, where the police beats him up outside of a diner. So he confronts one of the main racist guy at the diner. He goes crazy. He talks about, because, the racial issues and stuff that happened with that. And he looks like the scary black guy. And they call the police on him. And the police get there. He's busting his head through a car window. And, the cops grab him. They start hitting him with batons. And then one of the cops while he's being held by other police officers, one of the cops starts spraying him in the face with mace. Now, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to different type of maces that you use, but I could have sworn most maces that I know, if you were to spray it, it spreads out. It spreads out to where it's like even the sense of it, even if it doesn't hit you directly, you can feel it if it's next to you. He starts spraying Killian in the face, one of the police officers, while police officers holding him. Like, you can see the spray going into his face. It should be affecting all the other police officers holding him, especially the one behind him, grabbing him, like bear hugging him from the back. He should be affected by this spray. He should be one of the main ones who is pissed that this police officer is spraying him in the face, because he is going to be the one who's taking a big hit off of that off of that mace being sprayed. Like, I didn't understand that one. Y'all can definitely correct me if I'm wrong or how I feel about it. You can go ahead and correct me. But that's one I was like, I don't understand that scene or how that just played out the way it did. I feel like it was just heavily dramatized, to where it just felt like not the real encounter, but just something that that would affect people in a certain way emotionally. I think that's the only thing, only thing that they were doing with that scene. I feel like they could have did it differently, but still had that same effect. Yeah, to make it look more realistic. Basically, what I'm trying to say. But it is what it is for me, anywho. But if I'm wrong, y'all can definitely let me know that I'm wrong. If y'all say that, hey, there's mace where you can spray and it doesn't affect everyone else that's in that vicinity of the mace, hey, Maybe I'm wrong on it, but yeah, to me that seems like something you shouldn't do as a police officer. You should wait till your other partners are away from the person. That way you're not accidentally spraying your partners or accidentally spraying, I don't know. But that's just something that bothered me when it came to it. But there's other like small things and stuff that I was like, I don't know why they went that route, but yeah. Some stuff is like, they're just showing him how unhinged and stuff he will be. Some scenes I felt like probably wasn't needed for the movie, but they were just to amplify how emotionally disturbed he is becoming. That's the only thing I can heart with. But it still was a good movie. I enjoyed it so much. The story and stuff, I felt like it was really, really good. It's something I would buy as a fan of cinema and stuff like that. A DVD, I definitely would try to own it, or digital, whatever. I definitely would own it because I felt like it was a really, really good movie. And for me to actually say that I would own a movie, it means it has to be really, really good to me. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Y'all should watch it. Sorry about this review being so long, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about it in detail and stuff just because I like this movie a lot. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about it. If y'all watched it, if y'all looking forward to seeing it, go ahead and see it. If you like this video, please put a like on the video. If you'd like to subscribe and see some more of my reactions and reviews and other type of videos, please do. Thank you all so much for just jumping on and giving me a try. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and others. Peace and geekdom.